Hey there, my name is Philip Clark, founder of Enable Special Needs Planning, and I am so glad you found this private Facebook community. This group was started by empathetic family members and understanding professionals, all striving to create a supportive community for families that are like ours. The main focus of this group is to support each other in creating a plan for our loved ones that brings peace of mind for the future. And I have found that there are three main challenges that families face when they begin planning. The first challenge that I often hear from families is I barely have enough time to plan for today. How could I ever create a plan for the future? And the second challenge that I hear, even if I did have time to create a plan, where do I start? And how would I know that I'm making the right decisions for my own unique family? And the third challenge that families share with me is our family has so many goals, so many dreams that we want to accomplish. How can I create a plan so that we can achieve all of these things we're striving to? Have you ever struggled with similar challenges? I know my family did. I understand these challenges because my family felt the same way as we planned for the future for my sister, Sarah, who has Down syndrome. And so growing up, I witnessed my parents struggle to create a plan for her future that fit all of our family's particular needs. And we figured it out the hard way. We had years and years of false starts and horrible advice. My parents felt overwhelmed, frustrated, confused. They often worried about the future. Sometimes were afraid of the unknowns. And ultimately, they felt stuck. And at the end of the day, planning was only focused on what happens when my parents die. Who wants to start a future plan with the thought of dying? Not my family. And so looking back, no wonder it was difficult to plan. There was no guidance, there was no support, and ultimately, the end result of the plan was my parents were no longer here. And so the conversations in this group are going to be so different because they're going to be coming from someone with a unique perspective on planning. Number one, from a sibling's perspective, who saw how much my parents struggled to know what was right for my sister and for the rest of our family. And number two, from a proud big brother's perspective, who at one point said, this approach isn't good enough for my sister or families that are much like ours. And number three, from the perspective of a professional with nearly 2 decades of experience, who refused to accept the traditional special needs planning process. And so, if that is what you've been looking for, this community is for you. And we cannot wait to get to know you and bring value and bring peace of mind to your family.